The quest of beating a game as fast as you can. This has been known as speedrunning, and it has been around for ages. When the first few games were released, it was always a matter of who gets the highest high score. But later on, when the games developed, another question started to rise, and that is, who can beat the game the fastest? At first, speedrunning was only a niche thing, but a few, but dedicated players tried to bring it to its limits, breaking boundaries that were thought to be impossible. That is what speedrunning is. And luckily, Arknights Speedrunning is no different. And let me show you what the insane history of Arknights Speedrunning is. When the game first released, we barely saw any speedrunning videos. Every once in a while, a content creator decided to upload a speedrunning video. Most of those videos were mainly focused on entertainment and were nothing serious. But this was about to change. Back in December 2020, I decided to try my first speedrun, which was how much progress can I make in 24 hours. This was not intended to be a speedrun, but I was really curious to see how far I can go in that amount of time. This made me question, why is there no serious competition for speedrunning in Arknights, even though it's so fun to do? And the main reason for this was, we had no place where we can share our records on. So I went to a website which is called speedrun.com. Speedrun.com is one of the most used websites from speedrunner to store their records on. And so I reached out to them and asked them if we could add Arknights as a game. And luckily, they said yes. And this was the birth of Arknights Speedrunning. The first category I decided to create was 1.12, which was a category where you had to get to 1.12 as fast as possible. The rules I've set were, you're not allowed to have any leaks in your run. Beside that, nothing was against the rules. You were even able to spend money. Not that it helps you, mainly because spending money wastes time, doing pulls wastes time, so it was really important to be as fast as possible and don't have unnecessary time losses. I decided to stream my attempts live on Twitch and also make an entire video about this, so I can promote the new Arknights Speedrunning. My run wasn't good at all. I had a lot of flaws in there and even failed the last stage once, which was a huge time loss. My final time was 1 hour, 6 minutes and 56 seconds. It was obvious my time will be beaten, but I didn't expect by how much. First, there was Radiant Ikea, which managed to beat my time by a few minutes. Then, it was Dingley. Dingley literally crushed it by even 5 minutes, which is insane for a speedrun. 5 minutes ahead is insane. And then something happened that I didn't expect to happen. The Japanese have entered the speedrunning. And as I said, my time was 1 hour, 6 minutes and 56 seconds, right? Their final time from Murikuma 3 was 54 minutes and 29 seconds. My time was beaten by 12 minutes, which is just insane to think about. Their time and their run was flawless, and they held the record for over 7 months. And then finally, a legendary player has entered the scene, and this one is no other than Hinabu. Hinabu's run was absolutely perfect. I was thinking that it's gonna be hard to beat the game in under an hour. Morikuma 3 has crushed my expectations, but Hinabu managed to lower the time by another 50 seconds. And their final time was 53 minutes and 37 seconds. So far, in the last 4 months, no one was even close to contest this time. Sadly, after my promotion video, things got quiet again. Mainly because there weren't a lot of people trying it out. People were complaining, yeah, I don't have a timer, I can't add that. Even though that wouldn't be necessary at all, because we can just do that for you as the moderators. But still, we entered a dark age. Sadly, for months, only a handful of people tried out speedrunning, but nothing really happened. I was kinda sad because I really like speedrunning. Especially for Arknights. It was super fun to try it out. So in September 2021, I decided I want to give the speedrunning community a new life. After I made a community post announcing that the top 3 players will get rewards for the best runs, many people started to join in. The category I am talking about is LS3. So you have to create a new account and beat LS3 as fast as possible. And once again, this was no easy task. The rules for this category are no leaks in the final run. You can have leaks before that, but in the final run, no leaks are allowed. And obviously, in the final stage, LS3, you are not allowed to bring any friend support units, which makes it much more difficult. Once again, I created a new account and started streaming my attempts live on Twitch. And then you have to play through the first 10 stages to unlock the LS stage. So that would be 0.10. And after you unlock the LS stages, all you need to do is get to LS3 and beat it without any leaks. On this day, I did 2 separate runs. On my first run, I entered LS3 at 39 minutes and 35 seconds, which was already a really good time. But then the real struggle began. In the first run, I couldn't beat LS3 until 1 hour and 40 minutes. And I only managed to do it mainly because I leveled the XP I got from the temple, which was a really good operator and is not guaranteed to get. And I think this shows pretty well how insanely difficult LS3 really is with a new account. On my second run, I entered LS3 at 42 minutes and 30 seconds. The reason why I was so slow is because I literally failed LS2 because I was too cocky. And the other thing is I already leveled the operators I need to beat LS3. And with the knowledge I gained for my first run, I managed to beat LS3 in 47 minutes and 58 seconds. It is still not an optimized run, but I was very satisfied with the time I got. Even though my run had a few mistakes in there, it held for an entire day. After 2 days, the best time that was already accomplished was 32 minutes. In my stream, I said I don't think it is possible to beat it in under 40 minutes. And already after the second day, we are at 32 minutes from Blood Guardian. Their run was really good. There were no major time losses. The only thing that could have been improved is faster clicking, faster skipping, and also faster dragging the operator in the stage. All of those things can accumulate over the time. It was really fast already, but those were the few things I spotted to make the run even faster. I also set out the prize. The winner will get a monthly heat hunting card for 25 bucks, and the second and third place will get a monthly card. And because of that, a heated battle has started. At the third day, Dumbo has beaten Blagadian with a time of 31 minutes and 53 seconds. And that was almost 40 seconds better than the previous run. The very next day, Epsilon C has entered the stage with a time of 31 minutes and 13 seconds. A very solid time. But Dumbo has already improved their personal best and it is now at 30 minutes and 35 seconds. Slowly it is getting very optimized. 3 days have passed and Dumbo is still staying at the top. The question is, who will be the first person to take down Dumbo? Will it be Blagadian or Epsilon C? And the legendary player that managed to do it was Epsilon C with a time improvement of 8 seconds. The very next day already, Epsilon C was beaten. Was it Dumbo? No. Blagadian came out of nowhere and put up a time 29 minutes and 51 seconds. This has beaten Epsilon's time by over 30 seconds, which is insane, and it's also the first sub 30 time. But how were they able to lower the time from 48 minutes to sub 30? In my run, I only failed one stage, LS2, and that is the only mistake I did, so how were they able to lower the time by another 15 minutes? The answer to this question is knowledge. When I did my run, I always went safe and placed as many operators as I could to make the stage not failable. But the best runner now, they have everything planned out. They know they have to place 3 or 4 operators on this stage and not more. If you place additional operators, those are just time losses you gain. And to prevent this, every single stage was optimized. This is where they gain the most time, beside the incredible fast placements they always do. There is only one day left in the competition. And the question is, who will end up victorious? Who out of these 3 will be the final winner? Let me tell you, it is not Blagarian, it is not Epsilon C, and it is also not Dumbo. Out of nowhere, a new player has emerged. And this person was LeSot. They came out of nowhere with a time of 29 minutes and 47 seconds, which is only 4 seconds faster than Blagarians. If you compare both runs with each other, you see they were always head to head. Sometimes Blagarian was ahead because LeSot leveled something, then LeSot was ahead because Blagarian leveled something, and it was such a close race. Going into LS1, Blagarian was ahead. At least it seemed like it, but actually LeSot leveled already the stuff he needed for LS3, which Blagarian didn't do, and the time difference between them was just about 2 seconds. And in the final stage it came down. Who is faster at deploying stuff? And here, LeSot did an amazing performance and gained another 2 seconds over the Blagarian. And with that, LeSot managed to get the heat hunting pack. The second and the third place went to Blagarian and Drails. Drails also had an amazing run, 30 minutes and 20 seconds. And trust me, this is insanely difficult to accomplish. Because so many people enjoyed this event, I decided to host another one. The problem with the previous 2 categories were, there was a device and Wi-Fi advantage. And I really think this shouldn't matter when you're speedrunning. So I wanted a category which is absolutely fair for everyone. And my idea was Annihilation 3. In this category, it doesn't matter how good your Wi-Fi or how good your device is. It only matters what kind of units you have built. This time, whales have a slight advantage. But to get rid of this, we also allowed friend support units. And honestly, I wasn't prepared how insanely cool Annihilation speedruns are. But this time, I'm not gonna be the one explaining it. I will leave this to one of the top runners. And this one is Dylan Uchiha.
In order to achieve a good time on any Annihilation map, the most important part is to kill 5 specific enemies. The 100, 200, 300, 350, and obviously the last and 400 enemy. The reason is simple. Once all enemies including that one are dead, does the map continue to spawn the next waves, saving us time and being the only time save we have. So what we need to do is to find an operator that can reach the red box while also doing enough damage to kill the enemy as fast as possible. The main goal would be achieving the kill on the first possible frame. For this we have several operators that are viable. These include Firewatch skill 2, Ifrit skill 3, Ash skill 3, Blaze skill 3, Chen skill 2 and Weedy skill 3. The only necessary operator here is Blaze skill 3, but Weedy and Chen as well as Ash, Ifrit and Firewatch can be interchanged with each other. Ash, Ifrit or Firewatch are used for the first 2 wave clears and need to be supported by Silverash for the second kill because the enemy is invisible. The last 3 wave clears are done by Blaze, but enemy 350 needs to be supported by Weedy or Chen because Blaze doesn't do enough damage on her own. The last enemy spawns on a tile that can only be reached and killed instantly by Blaze, which is the reason she's the only essential operator besides Silverash to get an optimal run.
Now you know everything to perform a good Annihilation 3 run. Back when the category first launched, Runners didn't have this knowledge, and it was just placing the enemies as close as possible to red boxes. The first runner we're gonna look at is Pika Mew. Pika had a very good run for that time. Remember how Dylan said how important it is to kill enemy number 100, 200, 300, 350 and 400. Those are the ones that you have to kill fast so the next wave spawns. And this is the only time save Annihilation runners have. Now Pika with the 100th enemy managed to kill him very quick with Silver skill, which was a great decision. But then kill number 200 is where he could have improved the time by a lot if he would have only activated Silver skill. With that, it would have uncovered the enemy and Blaze could have killed it faster with the help of Silvage. And that would have saved at least a few seconds. Kill 300 was really quick thanks to the help of Thorns and Silvage. Once again, sadly, with activating Silvage skill, a lot of time could have been saved. But you need to keep in mind, back in the day, they didn't have this knowledge of how to make run go fast. And kill 400 was really quick thanks to Thorns. Pika's final time was 28:24, and this is an amazing time, considering that back then we didn't even know how Annihilation works. The first person to dethrone Pika after 5 days was Dylan Uchiha with a time of 28:21. The execution was better, but we're still far away from what is possible. 2 days later, Epsilon joined the fight with a time of 28:27, but also Dylan managed to get the exact same time. Now it was a tie. But then the very next day, someone joined, and that person was Magmatroid. They did not just beat the previous runner, they annihilated them. The previous record was 28:17, and now Magmatroid came out of nowhere with a time of 28:04. A time improvement of 13 seconds. Their run was astonishing to watch. You can see at the 100th kill how they used Ash and how precise and perfect the execution was. At kill number 200, they used Silver skill to uncover the enemy early and also Chen skill to make sure it is one-shot dead, to save time. At kill 300, they used Silver skill to make sure the drone dies as early as possible. The spot where they lost the most amount of time is at kill 350. They used Surtur, Force and Silvage to kill the enemy as fast as possible. But with the knowledge we have now, we know there are many better ways to do that. For example with Chen and Blaze skill 3. This way they can almost kill this enemy immediately. And the last kill was very well done with the help of Ash. And with that, the hunt was on. The first to take down Magmatroid. Who will it be? Day after day passed. No one able to contend him, even though many people got closer and closer to his time. And then finally, after 5 days, the first person to beat Magmatroid's time was Dylan Uchiha, with a time of 28:02. The main time save came from the spot I previously mentioned on Magmatroid's run. At the enemy 350, using Blaze and Chen is just way more efficient. It is very hard to execute, but if it's done right, it saves you seconds. And that's why it is so important to use it. Even though now the times are getting very optimized, people knew there was time left to save. And Dylan knew this as well. He actually kept this run secret. He didn't submit this to the leaderboards. People weren't aware that someone made a 28:02. His goal was to achieve a better run. 2 days passed. Nothing happened. 4 days passed. Nothing happened. And at the 5th day, at 9 AM, a person submitted their run. The person, also known as Moisesh, submitted a time of 28 minutes flat, improving the time by another 2 seconds. This run is flawless. Execution, everything was just so mesmerizing to watch, and the skill that is needed to accomplish this is really insane. And anyone able to achieve a time of 28 minutes should be rewarded. So let's just check out the replay to see what it actually means to get a 28-minute run. If you look at the first very important kill, kill number 100, you already see how much time they need to set everything up. Now you may have realized you need to activate the skills before the enemy even spawns. And the question is now, how do you know when to activate a skill when the enemy is not even there? On Annihilation 3, there are mainly two ways to do it. First of all, you can look at the already spawned enemies to see where they are and when you have to activate the skill. That is one way to do it. The other way is looking at the crossbows. Their timing is always the same every time you play the stage. So if it's like immediately shoots, you know, hey, now it's here, I have to activate the skill. Those are the two main ways to know when to activate the skills. So for the 100th kill, they waited until the second last enemy spawned to know, hey, now I need to activate Ash's skill. And looking at the replay, this was very close to be frame perfect. Now if you look at the 200th kill, you see this is a very unique one. The enemy is hidden and you need to wait until it is in zero range so it is uncovered. And then use Ash's skill once again to make sure you kill it on the very first frame. And you see here very well how well this was timed. On kill 300, you need to make sure the red runner is just a tiny bit with his head over the line. And then you know, now I need to activate Blaze's skill to get the perfect timing. It is precise, but it will reward you with a little time save. And on kill 350, you wait until Blaze hits the enemy 3 times and finishes the animation. Then you have to activate her skill. And important is that Chen is also ready because Blaze itself is not able to take it out. You need to time Chen as well. You can just pause for this. Just as soon as you see the enemy spawning, immediately activate the skill. And for last important kill, Muasesh had a very interesting setup. He checked the crossbows. So after Thorns killed the second last drone, he made sure that the third crossbow is touching the bright blue line. And the only thing left to do is activating Blaze's skill and watching the beauty of this kill. And with that, Muasesh managed to get 28 minutes done. After 3 hours of the first 28-minute run, Magmatroid also managed to tie this record and also getting 28 minutes. 3 days later, Dylan Uchiha also managed to get the time of 28 minutes, and now it is a 3-way tie. 5 days later, a new player also managed to get this done, and this player was Kilka. And with that, it was a 4-way tie. There's something I didn't tell you guys. I actually hosted this as a competition. The best 3 people will get a $5 monthly card. But I did not expect to see a 4-way tie on the first place. So what I did is, obviously, I gave all 4 people a $5 monthly card. But I still had this one question remaining. Is it possible to break the boundary and get to 27.59 done? And to do this, I hosted the first hunt for a time. I set up a price for 25 bucks for the first person to get 27.59 done. The first person to take on this challenge was actually Dylan Uchiha. Dylan is one of the most dedicated runners I know, and he showed me a screenshot of all runs he attempted. And he told me he spent about 30 hours to accomplish 27.59. But even after a month, he couldn't do it. After digging deeper into this, people have found something interesting. What you see here is a screenshot between a conversation they had about a new update. And the main part you get from there is that every stage needs 1 second longer to finish after the first anniversary. Which means every single 28-minute run would have been a 27.59 before the anniversary. Before I started hosting Speedrun.com, CM people were already doing speedruns, and there are already a few videos of 27.59 on Bilibili. But so far, all of them that we have seen were before the first anniversary, which means it seems to be impossible to get it done in our current version. Unless one day we get an operator that can uncover the 200 enemy earlier. And this way, 27.59 would be possible again. But for now, all we can do is wait. But I think now that was enough Annihilation for today. There is one more thing I want to talk about. The last event I've hosted. And this was getting Arknights to one of the most speedrun games ever. If you're unfamiliar with the website Speedrun.com, they keep track of all games and how many players they have. And there's a leaderboard on who has the most active players. And I thought, currently, it was Super Mario with around 600 people. And let's be honest, 600 people is not the craziest thing to reach. I knew we're not gonna be first place, but at least aiming for the top would be something amazing. It would be hilarious if out of nowhere, a game pretty much no one heard of in the speedrunning community is just so high at the top, and I just want to see this. So what I did is I made a community post, informed my entire community that I'm trying to get to the top on speedrun.com, and waited to see what was gonna happen. And to give the people a reason to join, I played the first 2 Annihilations and tried to get the best time I possibly could. And I challenged everyone to see if they can beat my time. And not only that, I said if we get to the top 10, I will give 10 monthly cards, $5 monthly cards. And in case we wouldn't be able to do it, I would still give away 5 monthly cards. After 8 days of the announcement, we climbed to the place 83. And just with a little bit of promotion, we got that high already. Sadly from there, it slowed down a lot, even though I was promoting it still in my Twitch streams, in community posts and some videos, I couldn't get more people to join. And after 1 month of doing this, we ended up on place 53. All things considered, I still think this is amazing. Like, we have even beaten Undertale, and I think we can really be proud of us that we managed to get to that place. Place 53. It's not that bad. Sadly, we didn't got the top 50 or the top 10, but all in all, that was a super fun project, and I'm very sure we were able to confuse at least a few people. And I think with that, we end it here. There's actually so much more I could talk about, but I would love to give this a separate video, where I actually can go into details. In this video, I just breezed through everything, gave you all the information you needed on how the speedrun community in Arknights came to existence. But like, there's certain records that you can dedicate an entire video to it. And trust me, they are worth watching. But for now, let me give a special thanks to Dragichav, to Dylan Uchiha, to LeSot, for helping me creating this video, for giving me the information I needed and helping me researching the stuff. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like or a subscription. I really appreciate that. The thing is, that took me 2.5 months to edit, mainly because I have never done a documentary before. And I still really hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me some feedback where I can improve, like definitely some stuff there is. And with that said, I wish you all a nice evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is for you when you're watching this. And with that, guys, have a nice one. Bye bye. Have a good one. And see ya.